I want to paint a picture for you. Imagine this. The sound of waves was your alarm clock this morning. Your friends knock at your hotel door. Margaritas, beach, the whole thing. You turn towards the door and you pass the bathroom mirror and you take a deep breath in as your swimsuit cover comes off. And you stand there looking a little longer than you meant to. But as you turn, your tattoo catches your eye and it's absolutely beautiful. You'd almost forgotten it was there, but the way that it hugs your form and complements your curves, it looks like it was meant to be there. And you think, I do look good. And the hotel door closes behind you. Your swimsuit cover, forgotten on the counter. You reach for your best jacket. Today is the day. This meeting could change everything for you. Your hands are shaking from too much coffee and the kind of nerves that you only get when something really matters. You take off your best jacket from the hanger, and as you go to put it on, your tattoo catches your eye. Strength and faith. And in that moment, your thoughts quiet. Your breath deepens, and the jacket just slides on. A new kind of confidence fills your suit, and the doubt feels smaller now. You grab your keys, and you stand straighter with every step. You've got this. The parking lot lights blur through the tears. You stepped out because you needed some air, and you need to go back soon. But right now, life feels really heavy, and as you go to wipe your eyes, your sleeve falls away just so. And there's your tattoo, exactly where you put it. Just for moments like this. You breathe that specific kind of deep breath that only comes after a really good cry, and you wipe your eyes dry. Your chest fills with air again, your shoulders lift, you reach forward, and you start the car. These moments can be engineered. That's what this channel is all about. If you're new here, I'm Emily. I'm a tattoo artist, and I built a framework called Body as Story. It's a framework for tattoo collecting that isn't about avoiding bad outcomes. It's about making the good outcomes more inevitable, because here's what I believe. The goal is to maximize the number of moments you live with your tattoo that look like the ones in those scenes. Tattoos that age with you and not against you. Tattoos that find you across time, not just in one chapter. That mean something to you, not just on the day that you got them, but in the hardest rooms, on the best days, and in those quiet moments when you're alone. I know that that's a different kind of framing than what you usually hear, and maybe even what you've seen on my channel. A lot of tattoo advice is fear-based. Don't rush, don't do this, beware of this. That advice isn't wrong, but it's incomplete. This is the other half of the conversation. Let me tell you why tattoos have this kind of power. It's not mystical, even though it might feel that way. It's psychological. Researchers studying bodily autonomy found that people who got tattooed scored higher on self-efficacy tests after getting their tattoo. Not just on the day of, but over time. There's also what psychologists call embodied cognition, the idea that physical sensations anchor memories stronger than just mental recall alone does. A tattoo can return you to the emotional state that you had when you got it, that feeling of joy and agency and empowerment. That's why a tattoo from a moment of joy brings you joy, and it's also why a tattoo from a moment of pain can bring you back to that pain. The medium is powerful, which means that the decisions around it are also worth treating as powerful. Tattoos are the ultimate form of creative agency. I get to decide who I am and who I'm becoming and mark it on my own body. Not necessarily as a statement to the world, but a statement to myself. People who have experienced loss of bodily autonomy through policing, medicalization, or abuse have described feeling more empowered and in control from collecting tattoos than almost anything else. Because sometimes being alive can feel like it's just happening to you. A tattoo is the moment you put your hand on the wheel. I want to acknowledge something else. Not everyone has a peaceful relationship with their body. Collecting tattoos has been shown to reduce anxiety about appearance and foster self-affirmation. In a world that tests your sense of self-love in 1,000 different directions, tattoos are a radical statement of self-belief, whatever your reason for collecting. Narrative meaning, aesthetic joy, memory anchors, or just sheer, that's cool, let's go get it tattooed. The beauty is that it's yours. There is no wrong answer to why you collect tattoos. What I care about is that that answer still feels like it belongs to you 10 years from now, even when you've changed. Here's something that almost no one warns you about before you get your first tattoo. Once you're tattooed, you start seeing people differently. You're standing in line at Starbucks and you notice exposed skin in a completely different way now. That placement is brave. Is that a full back piece peeking out from under her shirt? You see people differently now. Not just their tattoos, but their level of commitment, their willingness to say something on their body. And now you're part of the same club. You relate to them with a different kind of understanding. And for people who collect large, painful pieces like full sleeves or full backs, there's something specific I want to name here. Your tattoos speak for you now. You belong to a relatively small group of people who had an idea, went through dozens of hours of discomfort, and came out on the other side. I can do hard things, things that push me past my limit, and I can keep going. That's not just a tattoo. That's evidence that you keep. This is the reverent magnificence of tattoos, an ancient, now modern, ritualistic practice of self-empowerment and embodiment. They exist on a changing body throughout chapters of time. They don't have to mean anything grand, but ideally, they'll be decisions that your future self thanks you for, even as your relationship to them changes, even as your story continues. The hope is that you look back and see something true. You, trying to be ever more yourself. Body A Story was never meant to live in the silo of regret prevention. It was built as a support mechanism for the best case scenario. It's not about avoiding bad outcomes. It's about helping the best ones become more inevitable for you. Imagine living in your body 10 years from now, looking down, catching a glimpse in the mirror, seeing yourself in photos, and seeing something that you creatively curated and loving it even more than the day that you got it. That is worth building towards. Every video in this channel gives you a piece of the system, the mental models, the questions, the framework that help you collect with the kind of intentionality that make those moments more reliable instead of accidental. If you're starting a collection or even rethinking the one that you have, the Concept Builder is the place to start. It walks you through the why before you ever even begin browsing through the what, and I put together over 800 symbols, their meanings, their stories, and their images, so you can do exactly that. The link is in the description. And if you have some tattoos that you're not sure how you feel about anymore, I built a tool called the Regret Reframe that helps you see your old tattoos through a new lens. That's there too. I'd love to know the collection that you're building and the tattoos that you thank your past self for. Drop those in the comments. And if any of this resonated, send this to someone who's getting tattooed soon. I'll see you in the next one.